This is doing something really strange. On the boil is 4 litres of water. And can you see it? Yes, you can. There it is there. And I'm just finishing grating 1 bar of soap. Now, this is a machine I have. It's really good. It locks onto the bench. I don't know if you can see that. It locks onto the bench with this little switch. So as you do it, you can just twirl it round, and it's like grating cheese. I'm using the fine grated one. There is a thicker grated. It comes with, you just buy it at the local shop. And yeah, so that's only 1 bar of soap. So you can use whatever soap you like. I've got just pure soap. You can use Sunlight soap. That's a good one. Or Castile soap, whatever you want. I've got washing soda. I've just got the cheap brand from, down the road at the local shop. And I also have some good old baking soda or bicarb, whatever you want to call it. So there's not a lot going into these. Oh, and I've kept bottles of dishwashing liquid, which I will change over the top and put on the squirty bottle top, because I saved these from dishwashing liquid tops, and I just pop them on. That way I don't have to measure. I can just go squirt, which I love. I love that. Don't know if you can hear me. Let's have a check with the volume. Yeah, you should be able to hear me. So there, I have that. Now I've got to get a cup, get my measurements. So I have, this is boiling now, so I might have to turn that down a little bit, just to a simmer. Whoops, that's not it. Because you want this all to melt off. So what I've got is 4 litres of water. I have got 4 bottles plus 1 over to put anything over in. Might be less, I don't know. And I've got all my measuring cups. So I think I want half a cup. Is it half a cup? Where's my half a cup? Huh. Hang on a minute. I might need glasses. I don't know. That should be a half a cup, but it doesn't look like it's reading it. Hang on a tick. 3/4 a cup, 2/4 a cup, half a cup. Okay, you can't see anymore. I don't know what's going on. So to the boiling water, add your soap. And I'm only making 4 litres. So I'm just going to whack in a good half a cup of the soap. And I think it's like 8 tablespoons. And then just take this out of the way, just undo it. See, just undo it with this one and it just clips off the bench. I'm going to leave this because I'm going to fill this all up with the soaps. So I don't want to take it away completely. So then I'm going to do my washing soda, and the recipe says, let's see what the recipe says. 1/4 cup of washing soda. So I want 1/4 cup. Which one's 1/4? You'd think, see, why don't they have big writing on these? I don't know. 1/4 cup of baking soda. This is washing soda, sorry. I think it's washing soda. No. Washing soda is 1/4 cup, yeah. Oops, I spilt it. Never mind, we'll just chuck all that in. Honestly, it really doesn't matter if you've got a little bit more. But then when you put this baking soda in, you want 1/4 cup. It can be up to half a cup if you want whitening. So I'm just going to probably put a heaped 1/4 cup in here. going to give this a stir before I put this in. Make sure it's all melting. I've got a wooden spoon. Get the glasses off. Let's see. And that's melting down nicely. And then just put your Bicarb baking soda in. And this is now on a really low heat. It's really just melting that. I'm actually going to turn that off because it's already melted that soap, and that's all the actual detergent I'm making today. But I am going to grate all this and keep it in here so that it's already grated. So when I go and get it next time to make another 4 litres, I can just scoop it out, and I don't have to do all this mucking around again. While I've got that out, I may as well be grating with it. And so, yeah, what I do is I just grab 1 bar of soap, cut it in half. Can you see? Yes. And then it just goes into the top here. Oops. Put that in there. And then we connect it onto the bench, just pushing down and doing that. And then you've got this little thing that sits there. And I've got the square tub, because a round tub, it won't land in there as much. I've just got a little cutting board in there to bring it up to there, and just start just like you're grating cheese. But I'm using the fine one. Good exercise, good exercise. Very good. So leave that for a minute. This is done. I'm going to take that off the heat because we want to let that cool before we put it in our bottles. Just take this other lid off. I've got all the lids ready to go with the squirty thing on. And then I've got the excess one, which I'll change the name on. I don't know if I can, I can't rip that off, but I'll probably just write it on the front of it. Now I'm not going to mix, some people mix everything in here already. I'm not going to mix everything in because I really want it all separate once I'm boiling it down. And okay. Right. So you can see this is very, very cheap to make your washing detergent. Now you can make it stronger if you want. I'm not going to make it any stronger. This is for sensitive skin. So if you've got any type of allergies, I wouldn't be using the Borax. Borax actually is used in normal soaps anyway, so there's Borax in there. So if you have got really sensitive skin, I wouldn't be adding more Borax to it, because you can then get itchy skin, dryness on skin, rashes, or even blemishes and blisters and burning of the skin. So I would leave that out completely, which I have done in my recipe. And then what you do is when you're doing a load of washing, you can put 1/4 of a cup to 1/2 a cup, which is, I usually use about 1/4 of a cup. Out of one of these bottles, you probably get about 20 washes. So that's 20, 40, 60, 80 washes, maybe not so much, maybe 60, because I do tend to, and yeah, I don't know how much I'm putting in. So let's say 60 washes. I've used a cup, 1/2 a cup of at the soap, and I've used 1/4 of a cup of the baking soda and, what is this? Baking soda and washing soda, washing soda. So yeah, hope you enjoy that little tutorial. I won't be putting it in there. I might take a photo. I don't know how to add it to my content afterwards. I know people do add it later. I'm not really sure how you do that, but I will be doing these 4 bars that come in this box, and then I can chuck that box out and it'll all be done. Beautiful. All right. Hope you're enjoying. Hi. Hey, there's some people asking me questions. Let me see. Hi. Yeah, I just noticed you. Normally I make these things and there's no one watching. Hi, how are you going? I'm making washing detergent. So you know when you wash your clothes, it's that type of detergent. It's not washing up liquid for your sink. It's for your clothes. So when you wash your clothes, it's just 3 ingredients. So if you have sensitive skin like I do, you just want really the basics in your washing. Now, hang on, there's one more ingredient. Sorry. One more ingredient is you want to put some mint oil, probably about 15 to 25 drops, maybe up to 30. Just little drops in there, some mint or some thieves or whatever some people like lemon. I mean, I just like lemon. But I find this soap is very lemony anyway. So you can do whatever you want with that if you want to add some smelly stuff to make your clothes smell nice. But if you get a really nice soap, I think the Sunlight one doesn't really smell much. But some of them smell quite scenty, citrusy. Anyway, and I don't find that's okay on clothes because I air dry them, so I'm hanging them in the sun so they get, the bacteria out of them hanging in the sun. I don't do any sort of drying in the dryer. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I can't tell who's talking to me. But, yeah, hi. Yeah, I don't know where you're from, all you people out there. Thank you, Chloe. Yeah, just trying to get a little bit easier on my skin, a little bit easier on my health, and also in my pocket, which is, it's really nice to have things that you can make and are very easy. This is very quick and easy. It doesn't take much to boil a pot of water. And if you want it stronger, sure, but you really don't need it stronger. You can have it this strength and it's fine. All right, well, I'm going to go and continue doing this until I've finished. It'll fill up one of these containers. It's quite a large container. How big is this? Oh, so many litres. I think it has the... No, it doesn't say. Oh, it probably does. How can I read it? I don't know, but it's a big one. Just get a big square container. What am I? I'm supposed to know everything. No, I don't know everything. Okay, well, cheers, everyone. This is cooling down. Now, it doesn't have any colour. If you want colour, you probably can use a different coloured soap. You want to have a look? Hang on. I'll get you out and we'll have a look, shall we? How do I turn it around? Oh, there's always a thing, isn't there? So that's the recipe. If anyone wants to see it, that's my terrible handwriting. And this is what it turns out to be like. So I've given that a stir. It's all going. I'm just waiting for it to cool down. You can probably put it so it cools down a bit quicker on a, let's have a look what I've got in here. A tray, a rack. Okay. So I might put this on the, oh, I've got a coffee. Yum. Hang on a minute. Just pick this up. Okay. That's it. So it's just on the rack and that'll help cool down a bit. I just realised I made a coffee a minute ago. I'm going to have that. All right. Well, that's from me. If you want to see my wine making thing, just have a flick through my gardening Barefoot Tina. I don't even know who I am. That's why I didn't do anything today. I just stayed at home. I need a rest day. Oh, and I did my cacao yesterday. So I harvested my cacao, and I actually processed it. So it's actually in. Oh, it's not in on the. Shall we do the temperature? Let's do the temperature. That'll be interesting. So I've got this thermometer thing, and I'll just come out here to the I've bananas doing their thing in here. Friend of mine, oh well, I can call him my friend. I buy plants off him, and I'm just going to stick this into the banana. So this has got a tub, and then the okay, just show you, because it's leaking down there. I'm just going to throw this into here and see what the temperature is. I can't. All right, well, this is because it's all new. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just going to see what the temperature comes up to. So anywhere between 30 and 40 is really good. So that's a really good temperature. And I mean, it's probably about 32 degrees today outside anyway, but I've put it on this dehydrator. Great temperature, fantastic. Let's put this down. And I've got to leave this for about 5 days. That's the cacao. I didn't make much. This is beautiful banana. So yeah, that's coming along good. That's coming along perfect. I hope it stays like that, because I just want to make sure that, where are you? There? Sometimes it's a bit tricky what I'm doing here. Yeah, so glad that you just come along with that journey with me. But yeah, I will be stirring it and doing these other things with it, and eventually making cacao. That might be on my Facebook page, so check it out. Go on my Facebook, Gardening Barefoot Tina. Some of the winemaking is on the YouTube channel as well. I'm sort of flipping between the two because honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm even doing TikTok now. I don't even know if I'm on there properly. I'm giving it a go. Anyway, I'm going to get back to doing this. This looks beautiful. Just use a ladle. And I've got, this is how you do it. A ladle, a funnel, and then it goes. So to show you how soapy and beautiful that is. So, and then you let it settle. This is still a bit hot. I'm just showing you. So I'll have that little bit made 4 of these. Go into the beginning. I don't know if the recipe showed up. I did write it in pencil because I sort of took it from a couple of recipes, made it my own, and without that, you know, the borax and the harsh chemicals. So yeah. Okay, well, that's it. I keep saying that, don't I? This time I am going. Thanks for staying with me during this time. Yeah, I'm from the Sunshine Coast. I'm Australia. Australia. I'm an Aussie. And I have a piece of paper to prove it. I am actually an immigrant, and I am now a resident. So here I am in this beautiful, beautiful country. And yeah, it's getting really busy at the moment. It's actually, let's see what I'm doing. It's really actually getting really overpopulated up here. They're ripping out all the trees. They're pulling down everything. And so we're not getting much chance to even fight it. The builders and the developers are just coming in and just stripping the land clean here, like everywhere else in the world. They just money talks, you know, and the government has has the right to say no, and the council and everyone in the developing area have the right to say, no, we don't want to do that. We want to keep green space. We want to keep space for the animals, not just the animals, the insects, the birds, the lizards, the snakes, the koalas, all the type of habitat that get around in the bush. No, we want to keep some of that space for them. But what do? They just, it's quite, in the last 5 years, very destructive, all the way down the highway now where there just was beautiful trees. It's now housing, and the houses are one on top of the other, and yeah, it's quite awful. And then the shopping has gone up like by 3, and the houses have gone up by 3. And so, if you were here before all that happened, it's fantastic. If you're coming up from north, it's not too bad. You can still, get into the market here, but there's no residential sort of renting type thing happening here unless you're paying a lot of money. And yeah, we're seeing all that. So I just thought I'd tell you that. I'm going to get off. I've gone off track. I was talking about detergent. Yeah, so here I am. Yeah, I know, Chloe. Yeah, I know. It's awful what's happening. It's happening all around the world, though, Look at some of our rainforest and everything, even up north, the Daintree, they're coming in there and they're just wanting to strip it. And people are, donating money to the Willows and the wildlife reserve people, and they're just trying to get land bought out so they can save it and keep it forestry. Now that should not be happening. The people should not have to put their own money, put their hand in their pocket and give out to keep the forests. The government should be doing that, and they should be controlling a wildlife sanctuary where it is going to always be wildlife sanctuary. And the thing is, around here they call green spaces. I just fought for our neighborhood did, for a patch of land there that was supposed to be green space, and the developers were just coming in with bulldozers wanting to take it. Luckily we won, and we kept our trees. We kept part of the green space because they'd already come in and knocked half of it down. But this is what they do. They come in of an evening on the weekend, when the council's not around, and no one's going to ring the council because you can't get on to anybody. So this, they're using these tactics, and unless you can just stand in front of those bulldozers, which, that's what the people up here did last time. They wanted to clear the green space. They just sat down, and they actually called the police. And when the police arrived, thank God, we had some smart, intelligent, environmental police at that time, and they said all work has to be stopped until the council is contacted, and that won't be happening till the Monday, otherwise they will be really badly fined. And the problem with that is, and I'm saying that now, is that when they say, they're going to be fined, the fines do not replica what is being lost. It should be in the millions of dollars for land destroyal. What's a word for that? For land degradation. What is it when you come in and you strip everything? If you want to come in and strip the land, you've got to be fined on par with that. Not just, here's a few $1,000s for destroying all that habitat. No, that's not good enough. We need to be serious about this. We need to get on up off our bums and say, this is not good enough, and it's not good enough. We need to be keeping our wildlife spaces, because what's going to happen to the children's children when they're just living on concrete and bitumen, pave paradise, put up a parking lot? That's what's going to happen, and they're not going to have the oxygen. Trees produce oxygen. We need air. And like a lot of those sci-fi and, those movies that have shown the future and the destruction of what's going to happen, and we're just going to be all in desert in one area, and then we're just going to be in concrete masses in the other, fighting for food and fighting for life. Is that where the future is going to be? Instead of living on the land, all supplying each other with food, everybody, giving and swapping food and interacting with people, and That's how it should be. It shouldn't be all this rubbish where we're buying poison food. I read this morning they're injecting lettuce and tomatoes with the vaccine, but they're saying that it could be in the supermarkets, but it probably isn't, because then they'd have to label it as pharmaceutical. What is going on? What's going on? I don't understand it. I do not understand it. I do not know why we're allowing this to happen. Here it goes. It's starting to turn a little bit cloudy as it dries. And this is thickening up. You know, it's thickening up a little bit. Just show you now. So if it starts going cloudy, don't panic. That's what it's supposed to do. Okay. That's everything melted together. All right. Well, I've waffled on, so I'm going to go and enjoy making some beautiful soapy water to use. Hi, Chana. Dramatic Chana. Chana. Like Chana masala. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm making liquid detergent. I'm making 4 litres. So I will be, I've saved containers. I've put lids on that can be squirty bottle. And I am using, what is it? 4 ingredients or 3 ingredients. It's soap. You can use some, you know, Sunlight soap, some cheap soap, some Castile soap, whatever you like. You can grate it. What I'm doing here, I'm grating the soap. I'll be doing it 4 and keeping it in this container. And I'm using baking soda and washing soda. Very small amounts. You'll have to watch beforehand to get the amounts. And a little bit of oils or some sort of fragrance, just to fragrant that up. But if you get a lovely lemon-scented soap, you don't really need anything. It just automatically makes your washing smell good. It's mainly, this one is for sensitive skin when you don't want rashes. You know, when the other ones have usually got borax in, and borax is something you clear your drains with. You know, you pour borax down your drains when you've got clogged drains. You don't want that on your skin, because when you wash, it's in your clothes. So when you hang your clothes up on the clothesline to dry, a residue does stay on your clothes, and it does build up. It builds up in your clothes. So what you're wearing is this borax over and over again. So you can end up itchy. You can end up with sores, rashes, whatever. I've talked about it before. Go and rewatch it, because I'm about to go. But anyway, nice sharing this time with you. Go back and have a look at my winemaking and my cacao. It might be on Gardening Barefoot Tina, my Facebook, so pop on there. I'm going to go and sit down and have this coffee for a bit, and ciao for now. How do I stop it? Oh, there. Still don't know after all this time.